day, colleagues. So in the previous 2 weeks, we looked at the different things that we can do with ChatGPT. And today we're going to move into prompt engineering. It's still, don't worry much about the term. It's still about how do I use ChatGPT the best. And I'm going to share my screen. And then we can move to ChatGPT. And so we are going to ask ChatGPT a question. How can social workers in South Africa use ChatGPT to serve more clients better? And then it provides us with an answer. So you can see there, it used 12 headings and then a paragraph at the end. Okay, so that is a standard question. And this then happens when we need, and remember you can use ChatGPT for content writing, for report writing. And then your manager says, I'm not happy, this sounds like ChatGPT. This doesn't sound like our company. This is too fluffy. This is too this. What criticizing is coming your way about the content that you wrote. So then explore how can you make this more interesting, sounds differently, and then this will depend on the culture, the voice, the tone of voice, the archetype of your NPO. And if you want to know more about your NPO's archetype, please contact me and we can talk about that. But I then explored a couple of options. So let's say we want to pretend or speak in the same tone of voice like the World Health Organization. And notice I just said the WHO and it just makes sure here that we are on the right path. And here it goes, and it gives us the same information, but the tone of voice is different. It's the same information, but you will notice that the tone of voice is different. And please go to ChatGPT, put this prompts in and see what is the responses. You might be scrolling too fast for you to read. And then note that it actually gives you some advice. So if it's your organization making a press release, remember that you didn't have to complete that information then. So then I said, okay, so maybe your organization is, archetype is the rebel, the maverick. And so I thought about the maverick in South Africa, and I chose Julius Malema. And then let's see how ChatGPT says he might be talking. And then if you know Julius better than I am and listen to more of his speeches, you can tell me whether this sounds like him. And I assumed that ChatGPT would know who's Julius Malema. I actually started off by explaining who Julius Malema is. So if it's maybe somebody a bit more obscure, you may want to do that. I decided to see whether Chat would know who it is. And there, that's the response there. So it's still using the same headings, but then in a Julius tone of voice. Then I said, okay, let's go the other way, Cyril Ramaphosa, and here it goes. And you see immediately how it's the same information, but the tone of voice is different. So in other words, not all your content has to sound robotic. You can make it sound different. And then let's use Bishop Tutu as an example. Again, it's the same information, but you see how the tone of voice is different. Let us use the blessings of technology to expand our reach and to serve more clients with love, compassion, and grace. Okay. And then said, okay, well, let's use King Buthelezi as an example. And again, it's giving us the same information, same outline, but the tone of voice is different. Let us unite to make the best use of technology for the greater good. And then I decided to play a little bit, and let's use Trevor Noah as an example. And here it is giving us something totally different. You see now our headings is different. So it's the same information, in fact, but the tone of voice actually changed the headings. And then he reminds us that it can't replace the heart and soul of a social worker, empathy, compassion, and that personal touch. Okay, doesn't that sound like Trevor? So let me know, what do you think? Did ChatGPT get it right? Is this the tone of voice of Trevor, of King Buthelezi, of Ramaphosa and Malema? What do you think? And of course, of Tutu. What do you think? Do you like this tone of voices? Will you explore? And of course, if your a manager is well known and ChatGPT knows it, see if he can pick up your manager's tone of voice or from the internet, and whether it will then come out up with information that you would like to use. And that is for today. Please go and play. Maybe share in the group what tones of voice that you experiment with. How do you think your organization sound? If you are writing a newsletter, can you have some fun? And then this month you write your newsletter in the tone of. Next month you wrote your letters in the tone of. Obviously, you might have to, just put in, introduction in your emails and saying, this month our newsletters are going to sound like it's written by Julius Malema. We are having some fun in our organization. Try that. Or you might decide to go and experiment with people from totally different backgrounds and way of speaking. Or you can actually decide, okay, well, this is our archetype, and look for well-known people in South Africa who is that archetype, and then still play and still have those unique voices, but you are still using the archetype, and you still stay then consistent with the archetype you are using. Or like I say, you can decide, let's play, let's have lots of fun. What about the April Fool's joke? Send out an email in a totally different voice than what you usually use. Did Trevor Noah hack child welfare's emails? Did Julius Malema hack child welfare's emails? I think this is fun, but it also helps you to get the tone of voice right, especially when you do not want to sound robotic. Thank you. And tomorrow we're going to continue exploring around tone of voice, just not using specific people as an example. Thank you. Enjoy your day.